has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Continuing here with our Iona Laborers Local 663 Teams of the Week, we go to Republic High School, and we bring in head football coach Ryan Cornelsen. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Coach, before we talk about the semifinal game coming up, kind of go back last Saturday and take us through that 28-21 victory over a very good Elias team, who I thought was maybe one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the state, no matter the class. What was that game like?
Yeah, I mean it was a great football game. It was kind of the tale of two halves. First half, they came out right away and punched it right down our throat and put it in the end zone, and then we returned the kickoff 100 yards and scored, and then got the next 2 onsides, and went up 21-7. Ended up going into the half 28-14. Our special teams had a huge role, and our offense was playing well, and our defense was struggling. Our quarterback was cutting loose on us, and we couldn't seem to get them stopped. Then second half, our special teams didn't have much impact because we didn't score. Our offense, we stalled out most drives. We took the clock and had some good drives. We just didn't execute enough to put the ball in the end zone. But our defense played extremely well. And gave up 7 in the second half, and held on for the final drive to keep them out of the end zone to go ahead and ensure the win. So it was a great effort by all. We played well at times with both, and not so well at both, but we feel very blessed to still be playing and have the opportunity to play again this week.
Well, just back-to-back weekends with tremendous opponents and tremendous games, with the 35-32 win over Lebanon. Then you mentioned the Elias game, and now you get Webb City, who I believe this is in your third year. I believe it's the 6th time you faced them.
It is, and obviously, the history of Webb and how good they are, and they've really improved this year. Watched them. We got all their films. Of course, they have all ours, and you just see, man, what an improvement they've made on the year, and they're playing extremely high level of football right now. So, it's a tough matchup anytime you play them, whether it's regular season or postseason, and we've done it a lot. Haven't been real successful other than the one game. So, we got to try to figure out a way to play well enough to be in it.
And at this point of the season, I understand everybody's got bumps and bruises and maybe a twisted ankle here and there, but other than that, are you relatively healthy?
Yeah, I would say we're relatively. We lost some guys early that won't be back, and then and then this game against Elias is probably the most beat up we've been for a while. We just we had to play with extremely high motors, and we're outsized drastically up front. And, I went in a half, and I looked at us. It looked like we'd already played a full game. Like I could tell we went and it was exhausting, I guess, that first half. So we're relatively healthy. We've got to use this week to try to get some of that freshness back that we lost in playing 2 big games back to back.
And obviously, it's a big game. Number one, you get to play it at home, and that's got to mean something there to be at home against Webb. Webb's got 2 losses on the season, and both of them are on the road, and that's something that you guys can maybe take advantage of as well.
Yeah, it's always nice to play at home. We had Elias at home, and man, what an amazing crowd! It was a beautiful day, and man, we had our it was packed, and it was all orange and black, and they were loud, and it was just an awesome day for not only our football players, but just our community. It was a big day for the whole community, and our fans and family, and the community came out, and it was really awesome to be a part of.
And talk a little bit about maybe the good, the bad, with regards to being so familiar. I mean, you guys are conference teams. You've seen each other, like we talked about, 6 times over the past couple of years. What's the good and bad of that, meeting them in a semifinal game?
It's tough. I mean, you try to go, well, how much do we look at when we played them versus the other teams they played, and so you have that when you're trying to put a game plan together. And you know what they're good at, and sometimes that's an advantage, but also sometimes it makes you overcoach and try to stop certain things too much just to and be weak somewhere else. So I'm not a big fan of playing people twice, but obviously since I've been here, we've had to do it a lot, and so where I'm getting a little more used to it and understanding, how to game plan once on game two versus game one. I only did that maybe once or twice in Kansas, so hopefully I'm getting better at it, and we'll have a good plan this week.
Couldn't have asked for better weather this past Saturday, and it looks like this Saturday it's going to be similar, maybe a little bit cooler, but that plays a big part in it too this late in the season.
Yeah, it's always nice to have good weather on game day, and it will be colder than it was. It couldn't have been more perfect Saturday. I mean, it was our kids were shedding clothes, and they cramped some. And it was just it was warmer than what anybody expected, and so it was great, and hopefully it holds up this weekend.
Kickoff 1 p.m. there at 4370 South Retmo Drive there in Republic. Come 4 o'clock, when I check Scoreboard Guy or Missouri Sports Network, and Republic has won this contest, what are one or two of the stats that you're going to be able to point to and say this is why we won this game? Maybe it's time possession or turnovers or what? What are something you're really keying in on?
I think two of those you just hit the nail on the head. The turnovers is got to be always a big key, and then time of possession. Both teams are capable of running the ball and taking the moving the chains and taking the clock, and so you definitely against a team like Webb want to be ahead of the time of possession. So I think for both teams those are two big keys to success.
Playing on a Saturday during a holiday week, what's your schedule like on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Obviously, you don't have to get on the bus, and that's a good thing. But what's your schedule like between now and Saturday at 1 p.m.?
Yeah, so we'll practice. We still are in school today. We'll practice after school like normal. Then tomorrow we'll go at 1, just trying to simulate kickoff time, and then Thursday we'll go at 9 in the morning and invite friends and family if they're in town to come to practice and watch, and we'll have hot chocolate and everything for them to come out and watch us practice. Try to turn them loose as quick as we can to get them back to their families for Thanksgiving, and then Friday at 1 we'll practice again our pregame practice, and then be ready to roll for Saturday.
Have you had many reach out to you? I mean, a little known fact, this is the first time you've reached the semifinals since 1986. And a little known fact is I was on the team that Republic beat that year in 1986 to get to that situation. But have you had some of those folks kind of maybe reaching out to you? Maybe you've still got some of them that are part of the program?
Yeah, we have some that are family and friends of players and are there, and I've met a few of them. And then last week I had a couple of them call and just encourage us, and I thought it was cool. I could tell our kids about the conversation, and just that those guys are rooting for them and proud of what they have done and know how much work it takes to get there because they've been there. And so that was a cool experience when some of those guys called and are taking interest in what we're doing.
And it's always tremendous to be able to share this over a holiday season with your friends, your family, and with Thanksgiving coming up. And hey, if you're still playing football when it's Thanksgiving, you're doing something right.
Right, there's no doubt. It's exciting. It's new for our kids, and just to see the look on their faces after each win these last 2 weeks is a special thing.
And before we let you go, Coach, do you have like a go-to Thanksgiving dish that you're going to cut in line? Hey, if it's on the table, I'm gonna go get this. What's your favorite?
Yeah, man, that's tough. I'd probably say the stuffing or green bean casserole. One of those two is probably my go-to. So I would say those are probably my favorites.
Outstanding. And Coach, at this time of the year, what does the Cornelsen family have to be thankful for?
I think a lot of things, and I think God has really blessed us in many ways, and our health and being a part of this experience. And I have a daughter in high school, and my son's in junior high, and then my youngest is in kindergarten. But just the experience of them being on, along for the ride, and being, my daughter's in the student section, my son's the ball boy, and then having them there after the game is a special thing and something we feel very blessed to be a part of. And so a lot of things I could say, but definitely this experience together has been a lot of fun.
You bet. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here on the Missouri Sports Network, and congratulations on a semifinal berth. Now, go out and get a victory, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Coach Ryan Cornelsen from Republic Tigers as they prepare to take on Webb City at home on Saturday at 1 p.m.